is over, when you say you're feeling lonely, if you ever need a shoulder, you know where to find me. Stop chasing all the city lights, breathe me in, go on and take your bite, count on me to make you come alive. You know where to find me tonight. You know where to find me tonight. When you feel the world is over, when you say you're feeling lonely, if you ever need a shoulder, you know where to find me. Stop chasing all the city lights, breathe me in, go on and take your bite, count on me to make you come alive. You know where to find me tonight. You know where to find me tonight. When you feel the world is over, when you say you're feeling lonely, if you ever need a shoulder, you know where to find me. Stop chasing all the city lights, breathe me in, go on and take your bite, count on me to make you come alive. You know where to find me tonight. You know where to find me tonight.
Hello everyone, and welcome back for the second part of The Broken Sword Shadow of the Templars Director's Cut. We left it last week where we had just done a section that I had never done before because that was part of the Director's Cut. And that was the it was the bit where it was the bit under the river, the spelling puzzle. That was loads of fun. Hopefully there's no more of them. And we now have gone back to it at the point where the original PlayStation version in the 90s started off, and it was the cafe where the clown what's that one there? Oh, sorry, Chris, just saying, for some reason a whole load of text just all of a sudden all popped up on the side of the screen there. But anyway, let's continue into this one there. So we were at the cafe and it had just exploded, and hopefully this save has worked. Yeah. As I said, this is the director's cut there. So there's all sorts of extra bits that I don't know about.
Unpronounceable Eastern European state.
That's why I put the audio on.
The big story was about the brutal murder of a French media magnate, shot down in cold blood. The guy oozed confidence, like a regular French statesman. The big story was about the brutal murder of a French media magnate, shot down in cold blood. The guy oozed confidence, like a regular French statesman. I noticed the writing at the foot of the page. It read, Salah Eddin, 1345. The column was devoted exclusively to rumor, gossip, and sensationalism.
How do we get out of this one there? So we've got the newspaper, we'll need that later on. There's some, I think it's quite funny dialogue coming up soon if I remember rightly. But like I said, I haven't played this game since the 90s.
I considered straightening the table, but I figured it best not to disturb the evidence.
He was almost going to redeem it without you as well, royalty.
The sight of the dead guy's staring eyes turned my knees to jelly. I tried not to meet his stare as I searched the dead man's pockets. No wallet, no papers, no credit cards. The guy's past was a blank page. I checked his pockets. Nothing.
Just before we sort of continue as well there, is the audio for the game alright? Do you just want it turned up or down so you can hear like the conversations and what have you?
I'd hoped the fact that the mirror was already broken meant I'd escaped the bad luck. The mirror had smashed into 1,000 pieces. Bad luck for someone. Poor guy. He was pretty mashed up.
So as long as you guys can hear it clearly.
He was pretty mashed up.
So I'm rejiggle my microphone because I forgot. The dialogue stuff comes up at the very top of this, doesn't it?
Oh, my head. Never again. How much vodka did I drink? Oh, no, don't tell me. What is your name, Sherry?
George Stobbart, ma'am. You look like you could use a little help.
I could use a little drink. I feel sick, dizzy, and bruised. I don't even remember the party.
Just relax and take it easy. You've been knocked out.
You don't say. What happened?
There's been an explosion. You should try not to move.
Are you a doctor?
No, but I used to play hospitals when I was a kid. Can you remember anything at all?
That counts.
No. I need a drink. Pour me a brandy.
You could be in shock. No alcohol.
What about your man? Is he dead?
Yes, he is.
Oh, mon Dieu. I've never seen a real-life corpse before. Except for Grandmaman. That was different. She was family. Has he gun stiff?
I shouldn't think so. He's only been dead a few minutes. Do you remember what happened when the clown entered?
I remember that horrible tune he played all right. It was like a funeral dirge.
I'd never liked accordion music either. Did the clown speak to the old man?
No, he just laughed at him. Then he grabbed the old man's briefcase and ran out of the door.
Did you know the old man?
No, monsieur. I never saw him before.
Did you see what the old man had in his briefcase?
No, he didn't open it.
Did the old man try to stop the clown?
Oh, he didn't have a chance. The clown dropped his accordion and ran out of the door. That's it. That's all I can remember.
That shouldn't have appeared already. It's supposed to be every half an hour. 2 seconds and we will correct that, otherwise it's going to start spamming chat, isn't it?
The summer's calling. The summer's calling. If the kingdom is overthrown, meet me at the cornerstone. I know that I can't be without you. This bond is solid gold. We're a diamond and an emerald. It took me forever to...
There we go, that's disabled. Yeah, it was supposed to do that, Chrissy, every half an hour, because I was looking through some of the other things that I can like add to the stream, and I thought, oh, every half an hour would be all right, but that's done it twice in the space of a couple of minutes, so turn it off for now.
Did this newspaper belong to the old gentleman?
I don't know.
Someone has scribbled a note on it. It reads, Salah Ed-Din, 1345. Does that mean anything to you?
No, monsieur, nothing.
Stay here, mademoiselle.
Exhausted all the dialogue options. I keep forgetting after I press that button for the transition when that one comes back from the back soon, it doesn't bring the desktop audio back up.
Please, hold it right there.
Whoa, don't shoot. I'm innocent. I'm an American.
Can't make up your mind, huh?
I demand
like
to
that.
see the American consul.
Drop your weapons and get down on the ground.
Put that thing away, Sergeant Moo. I apologize, monsieur, but I cannot permit you to leave.
Am I under arrest?
Ah, no, I would simply like to ask you some questions. En avant, to the café, marche. What a mess. This bombing is an outrage, is it not?
Stop that, monsieur.
Has it occurred to you that he may be dead, Moo?
Oui, monsieur. But I prefer to look on the bright side. Besides, I recall a case where the killer escaped by feigning death. However, in this case, the man is quite dead.
Examine the girl and take her statement, if you can. Et maintenant, to business. Your name, please?
George Stobbart. I'm from California.
And what brings you to Paris, Monsieur Stobbart?
Travel. I'm touring Europe.
You chose well. The city is most beautiful at this time of year, no?
Yeah, I guess so, apart from the bomb blasts.
Were you in the vicinity of the cafe at the time of the explosion?
Yeah, I was sitting out on the sidewalk. I was lucky I wasn't killed. The inspector passed over my remark with no reaction.
Did you see the deceased enter the cafe?
Yes, I did.
Was he alone?
Yeah.
And did he say anything to you?
No. He was more interested in the waitress.
Did you see anyone else in the cafe?
Yeah, there was a guy dressed as a clown. He was carrying an accordion.
An accordion? Bon. The picture is forming in my mind, and it is not a pretty one. Is the girl all right, Moo?
She'll live. She confirms the American statement. A clown with an accordion, no doubt an elaborate and eccentric disguise.
Very well. Eh bien, I have heard enough.
What do you mean?
I am satisfied that you know nothing. You may leave. I hope this little incident does not spoil the rest of your vacation.
What about my personal safety? Can't you at least give me some advice?
What can I say? Stay alert and look out for suspicious characters.
And don't cross the road until the little man shows green.
Great advice.
I honestly believe you are in no danger, monsieur. Should you remember anything of importance, please contact me. My card.
So what sort of investigation is this as well?
Thanks.
You know,
That
an
is
explosion's
all.
gone off.
You may go.
There's not much to
No
go on.
fire
monsieur.
trucks, no
On the
ambulances.
surface, no.
Just
But what
a
lurks inside the subconscious?
just a guy coming to investigate
The
it.
door can only be opened.
Are you serious, monsieur? I thought your interest in psychic detection was purely academic.
Excuse me, mademoiselle?
Hi. My name's George Stobbart.
Oh, an American by the sound of it.
Yep, that's right. On vacation in Paris. Some vacation, huh?
You were here when the bomb went off?
Sure was. Sat right out in front of the cafe.
Did you notice a middle-aged man, maybe 60, with a hat and overcoat?
I couldn't believe it. She hadn't even asked how I was feeling. Yeah, he went inside just before the bomb exploded. You weren't related to him, were you?
Oh, no, nothing like that. I'm Nico Collard, from La Liberté.
What is that?
Exactly,
some kind of
royalty.
nightclub?
Oh, no, it's a newspaper.
You're a reporter?
I'm a freelance photojournalist.
Say, you could interview me about the bombing.
This
An
fellow at the back
eyewitness
here, he's
account.
still just
Minutes
digging his
after the
hole.
outrage that shook the whole of Paris. You know, real-life drama, human interest, that kind of stuff.
I'll just stick to the facts, thank you. Did you see who planted the bomb?
I know it sounds crazy, but he was dressed like a clown.
A clown. It's him again.
Have you met the clown before?
It's a long story.
I have plenty of time.
I don't.
Do you know a police officer called Rosso?
Rosso? Our paths have a knack of crossing. If I didn't know better, I'd say it was deliberate. Have you seen Rosso? Is he here?
He's inside, attempting to question a witness with his psychic powers.
That guy is weird.
Yeah. Who was the guy you were supposed to meet?
His name was Plantard. I didn't know him, but he called me last night. He said he had a story which would interest me. He asked me to meet him at the cafe. I guess I'll never know what he wanted to tell me.
Well, not unless you have Rosso's gift for psychic interrogation. Why won't you tell me about the clown?
Why do you want to get involved?
Because he almost killed me. Isn't that reason enough?
I guess so. Listen, I'll give you my phone number. You help me with my story, and I'll let you in on what I know. And let's get one thing straight right now. This is strictly business.
Okay, it's a deal.
I have to go develop these pictures. I'll be on some, monsieur.
Fine. I'll see you soon.
Let's go and see the fire. Let's dig her stuff up.
Hey, you!
I thought you'd been arrested.
No, it was a misunderstanding.
When he pulled that gun, gah! I thought that was it. Those automatics pack quite a punch, you know?
He made a mistake. He thought I was a terrorist.
You? A terrorist? Ha!
He was only doing his duty, I guess. Did you see an old guy with a briefcase?
Wait, silly old coot. Do you know what he said to me? Work fascinates me, he says. I could watch it all day. Quel bit. I could have knocked his block off.
Did you see a clown come by this way?
A clown? Like in a circus?
Yeah, with makeup and a big red nose.
Oh, those guys are funny, aren't they?
Not in my experience.
I love the circus, especially the horses.
You haven't answered my question. Have you seen a clown?
You think I've got time to watch everyone who passes by? Some of us have to work for a living.
Did you recognize the old man?
No. Should I have done? Was he a celebrity?
No, but I guess he is now. His name was Plantar.
Was? He's dead then?
Yeah.
That's too bad. Now I wish I hadn't called
I always
him
knew he
what
was
I
up to no
did.
good, Chrissy.
If only I could turn back the clock. If only I'd been more tolerant.
Regret and remorse are strange emotions. They really bring out the hammiest actors in people. Would you like to read my newspaper?
I haven't got time to read that. Can't you see I'm busy?
You could read it on your lunch break.
10 minutes is all I get. And if my boss had his way, I wouldn't get that. He'd have me on a drip, so I didn't have to stop to eat.
Oh, take the newspaper and quit complaining.
There's some places that want people
Look
work
at
like
this.
that.
Damn bleeding heart liberals. Tcha! Save the dolphins. Catch them and eat them, I say. All that fuss over a bunch of fish. Nah, that's more like it. Look at the size of those. Like champagne bottle corks, no? Ah, what's this? Saladin running in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe.
It's a racehorse?
A horse? A legend. Bucephalus reborn, mon ami. Like a streak of lightning she is. Do me a favor, won't you? Keep an eye on my hole. I'm off to put some money on that nag.
What about your toolbox?
Stuff it. Help yourself.
There he goes.
I found a T-shaped tool in the box. I didn't know what it was, but it looked useful.
I wonder what year this is supposed to be, because that is his phone. That huge block on the ground.
The clown had fled into this alley, but there was no sign of him now. I was intrigued by Nico and what she could tell me about the explosion.
There was nothing of interest.
Yeah, I remember when I played this, obviously originally in the 90s on a tiny little screen, because obviously this is blown up. Did I show you this last week? If I go to screen resolution, this here is the screen resolution of this game, obviously because it was designed for a tiny little TV screen. But, I mean, right now, this is probably the most detail I've ever seen of it, because it's, you know, like how close I am now to like having it blown up on this screen, but it is quite pixelated.
The cover was too heavy and awkward to lift with my bare hands.
Now we have one of those thingamajigs. I'll have to look up later on to see what year this is actually supposed to be based
I lifted
in.
the cover to reveal what smelt like the entrance to a sewer.
Trying to think, what year did this game actually even come out? Oop, there we go.
As I picked up the plastic ball, I realized it was intended to be worn. It was the clown's red nose.
Of course, in Paris, all the sort of the sewage system is like a mirror of the roads above, isn't it?
I scooped up the sodden tissue. It was cold and greasy, like breakfast leftovers. I took hold of the scrap of material and unsnagged it from the spike.
I would definitely recommend, if you happen to be in Paris, going on a tour of the catacombs as well. quite a trip down the spiral staircase to get into it, but...
You sure right? I knew you'd come back. And now I've got you.
What are you talking about?
You're trespassing. Come out of there, immediately.
That's what I'm trying to do. Give me your hand.
Ha! You won't catch me with tricks like that. Keep your distance, monsieur.
Okay, okay.
Now, what were you looking for?
Terrorists. The meanest, nastiest, dirtiest bunch of guys you ever saw.
Ah, Englishmen without a doubt. The filthy dogs. The day they opened that tunnel was a bad day for France, I tell you. If I still had the full use of my faculties, I'd march right over there and tell them so.
Well, whoever they are, they blew up the cafe.
What? The cafe? Blown up? Mon Dieu! That is awful.
The guy who did it was a calculating, cold-blooded killer. He was disguised as a clown. I followed him into the sewer, and I think he came this way.
Ah, mon Dieu! Then, the man I chased, do you think that man and the clown are one and the same?
Well, yes, it had crossed my mind.
Ah, that still does not explain what you are doing down the sewer. For all I know, you are in league with him.
Oh no, I'm just a tourist.
Most tourists are content with the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, or the Pigalle. I didn't realize my waste pipes were such an attraction.
Well, like I was saying before, you see about the waste pipes thing, it probably is quite interesting, because, like I said, with it being a mirror of the streets above, because it's all signposted and everything. But just looking at the thing there, when we went in, was it January? In the January, beginning of February, whenever it was only at 85 quid, so it wasn't too bad. But, I definitely don't recommend, though. Well, actually, I think as well, I'll dig out some pictures and I'll chuck them up on the Discord. Maybe it's later on, because of course, whenever I go, I know how to show a girl a good time.
Was the guy you saw
Take it to the catacombs?
I didn't notice. Now are you going to leave, or do I have to call the police?
Show him the detective's card.
Perhaps you'd like to take a look at my card?
He'd be more friendly.
Mm-hmm. What is this? Inspector Augustin Rousseau? What does that say? Hominoid Division?
A homicide. I think the ink's smudged.
Mm-hmm. Then you are not a tourist.
Okay, I'm not. I lied to you, and I'm sorry.
Don't apologize, monsieur. You know, I had a feeling there was something different about you. It is your posture, your poise. Oh, yes. There is no mistaking the bearing of a disciplined man. And I should know. I was in the army, you know. When I was your age, I was fighting for my life in the African desert. How can I help you, Inspector?
I always picked the weird places for trips. I mean, some people I used to work with were taking the mick out on me because I took the girl I was with at the time to a railway museum for the day.
Tell me about the man you apprehended.
He was a mean one, monsieur. He grabbed me in an armlock. His face suddenly next to mine. His grip was like iron. But he did not know what he was up against. Oh no. He made a big mistake when he took on one of the desert hyenas.
Yes, I get the picture. Do you know the waitress at the cafe?
You can't suspect her, surely.
Just answer the question, please.
Yes, I know her. Quite well, you could say. She came to work at the cafe 7 months ago. I look forward all week to the relief she gives me when she visits.
Really? So you'd miss her if she wasn't there?
Oh, mais oui. Who else would I find to cut my toenails?
Does the name Plantar mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Was the guy you saw carrying a briefcase?
Why, yes, he was. Clutched in his arms like a baby.
That belonged to his victim.
Oh, what do you think was in it? Drugs? Stolen jewels?
I don't know, but the killer thought it was worth a man's life.
Nothing is worth that, monsieur.
Take a look at this false nose.
Aha! That looks like a clown's nose to me.
Precisely. He must have dropped it in his panic.
Unless he wanted you to find it.
Why would he want to do that?
To put you off the scent.
I think I've heard of that, Chrissy, somewhere. I might have seen there's like a documentary or something on YouTube about that one, because that sounds familiar.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Nothing, monsieur. It's disgusting. What on earth possessed you to show it to me? Someone has emptied their nostrils into it.
Does this piece of material mean anything to you?
Ah, that is the same cloth as the jacket I found. I'd recognize that pattern anywhere.
Now, about the jacket you found. Do you have it here?
No, monsieur. One of the sleeves was badly torn, so I sent it for repair. A pity, because otherwise it was a fine piece of quality tailoring. It had the tailor's name inside on the label.
Where did you send the jacket?
I gave it to an itinerant Romany seamstress.
Just my luck. Was there anything in the jacket pockets?
Not a sou. You know what I think?
Do tell me.
He changed out of the clown suit and cunningly disguised himself as an ordinary person.
Looks like I'm up against a mastermind. What was the name on the label?
Ah, it was a foreign name. Todrick, I think.
Did you get the address?
There wasn't one, monsieur. Only a telephone number.
Well, I don't expect you to remember a phone number you've only seen once.
74 98 08 59.
You're kidding. That's his phone number?
Yes, that's it. A little trick with numbers that I learned in the desert. I was taught the technique by a Tuareg shaman.
That's incredible.
It comes in handy at the supermarket checkout. Do I get a reward?
Honesty, monsieur, is its own reward.
Then I'm glad I do not rely on honesty to pay the bills.
I think that's everything with him.
I have to be going. Thanks to your help, the citizens of Paris can sleep a little easier tonight.
Vraiment? I was only doing my duty, monsieur. Good luck, Inspector. I hope you catch that killer soon.
See, this doesn't help the data as well, because that car looks quite old, and yet he was talking about opening the tunnel, which I assume meant the channel tunnel.
The sewer, come up into the courtyard, and then slipped back into the street here. It wasn't much, but it was more than the cops had got.
Hello, Nico Collard.
Hello? It's George.
Ah, oui.
You said to
No
call
problem,
if I
royalty.
could help.
You're going to listen out for the puzzles when they come
You
up.
bet. I met a witness who spoke to the clown. And I know where the killer gets his suits.
No kidding. Hey, I'm impressed.
You are? Well, it wasn't easy.
Look, why don't you come here to my apartment later this afternoon?
Fine. Where do you live?
361 Rue Jarry.
Okay, I'll come over.
I was used to working alone, but I had to admit it felt good with George on the case too. But there were some things I was going to have to do alone, and fast. I needed the answers to some questions. Who was the costume killer? And why did he murder Carchon? Why did Carchon ask for me to interview him? How did he know my father? And why was my editor so scared? There was some kind of secret war going on out there, but who was on which side? One thing I did know. I wasn't going to get the answers sitting at my desk.
Right, this now is a director's cut section, because I don't recognise it at all. Actually, I don't think in the original one, I don't know if you actually even took control of her. I think it was all George. Oh, she's stuck in an animation.
Mademoiselle Collard.
Oh, hello there. Don't tell me. I'm going to meet a tall, dark man.
No, I don't think so. Why would you say that?
Oh, just a wild guess.
Anyway, your cousin's female and very pretty.
What?
Your cousin from Marseille. How could you forget her so soon? She was only in your apartment yesterday.
Ah, really?
Such a charming young girl.
Isn't she? And in my apartment, you say?
She let herself in, of course. She's got a key.
Suddenly, everything made sense. My apartment had been bugged. That was how Plantard knew all about my article. How did I know? Because the only cousin I have is a sweet little guy called Jean-Marc, who runs a patisserie in Le Touquet. These people were determined, which meant they were also very dangerous. I suppose she'd forgotten which apartment was mine.
Oh, Miss Collard, you're a mind reader. That's just what she said.
Oh, I bet it was. Well, I'd better be going. See what my sweet cousin's been getting up to.
Au revoir, mademoiselle.
Right, I'm aware this is the only place to go.
Hello, could I ask you some questions?
That depends. Are you a cop?
No, I'm a journalist.
Bit late, aren't you? They already took away the body.
I'm doing a follow-up on this story. Tell me, are you related to the workman I saw digging the hole?
Don't talk to me about flobage. Pah!
Okay.
He just won a fortune on the horses and he won't give me a cent.
Well, it's his money.
When he was broke, he was happy to touch me for a loan. Brothers should look after each other, he used to say. He's changed his tune, now he's brassed up.
You're doing a fine job.
Damn right I am. You should be writing about me, not that idiot that got blown up.
The heroes who pick up the pieces when disaster strikes.
Exactly.
Well, give me your best smile and maybe I'll put your picture in the article.
Oh, right. Just give me a minute to do my hair.
The police had removed the body, but nothing else looked disturbed.
Not even any police tape around it, is there?
Some journalists drink on the job, not me. It was a brandy bottle. A panel had been blown away, revealing a gap. From this angle, I could see that something had been lodged in the gap behind the pipes.
Just keep looking for these little tiny little blue circles for where we put a click.
Behind the table were some damaged pipes. Voila! The police and forensic teams had missed a vital piece of evidence. Some kind of pouch. On the pouch was the cross symbol of Cauchon's organization. I was on the right track. It was the beautiful elephant my father had carved. On the pouch was the cross symbol of Cauchon's organization. Inside the pouch were two items, a strange metallic artifact and a letter in some kind of code.
Oh no.
Another coded message using the same cipher system. So, Plantard was involved with Cauchon.
Hmm. I should begin with this one then. There's no X at the end of this one because that was the last letter of the other one, wasn't it? A single letter here. Could that be an I or an A, maybe? It's kind of like a pick. Anything else that looks like it could be? Just trying to like build it, like try to key it from like 3-letter words that might be like those and ands. Let's put this one to an and see what it comes out as. So much. And then 3 thingies. And a U for the D. What was that other guy's name? Plantard would fit in there, wouldn't it? So P L where's the R? And a circle. Right, so if that one there works, that's given a quite a good chunk of the rest of the thing. Alright, so the I that we did before must have been wrong then. So I goes to a squiggly up and down. Where is it? There it is. I think that could be killed. Where's the circle? There it is. And a backwards thingamajig. Oh, hang on. That's not the right one I meant. It's... Oh, there it is. Oh, that was a name on the last week's, wasn't it? But I can't remember what the first letter was. Do we have? Oh, it's a Y. It's a line with a thingamajig. Let's try for have with that funny N shape. Followed, maybe? W as the funny squiggle. What's that? Come for us. Oh, we got a letter mixed up. Oh no.
Plantard.
There we
Pierre
go.
King.
We
Murderer
did it.
must have followed trail from Arnaud and Yamada. He will come for us now. We must be vigilant. Thierry's girl broke into Pierre's safe. She worries me. Imelda. So much for Imelda's innocence. Plantard was working for her, and for Canchon. But why did Plantard want to meet? Was it a trap? Or maybe he was in too deep and needed me to tell the story, whatever the story was. One thing was clear. It was a story worth killing for.
Yeah, that one was far easier than last week's.
Hey, what about my photos?
Oh, of course. How could I forget?
Well, I'm waiting. Get your camera out.
Camera. Oh, I forgot. It broke.
Alors, they should never send a woman to do a man's job.
Well, this woman had fooled him easily enough, and found the evidence the police had missed.
Is Chrissy being cheeky again? You have to give him a slap.
I needed to take a closer look at the objects I'd found in Plantard's pouch.
What did she
I
just say
needed
there?
to take a closer look at the objects I'd found in Plantard's pouch.
Oh, hang on.
The artifact had a sword laid across scales. There was a picture of Lady Justice on the locked panel, in the room below the conciergerie.
Have to when you get back at 4, just turn the stereo up to 11.
The strange metal artifact I found in Plantard's pouch had pointed back to the quayside.
Oh, we're back down here again. Oh, is it going to make us do that thing with the cross every time, do you think? Where is it? There it is. Oh, hang on, what did you get? Oh, yeah, it was the roundy bit in there, wasn't it? Then we have to press that and it opens the stone thing on the other side. There we go. So I wonder if that thing, because when we were trying to get that round thing last week to go in this window, there, in this picture frame, so I'm guessing that this new thing we found must go in there. Maybe it's not. Oh no.
Plantard's key fitted the lock, so he must have used this place too. A photograph had been torn up. If I could just arrange the pieces.
Oh, a puzzle. Get all the sidey bits. The bottomy bit. Looks like it will go in there. Another sidey bit. I'm assuming this is going to connect to that picture we found last week. The other half of the ripped one. That's going to drop you down a bit there. Are they connecting? I suppose they're close enough. I'll probably do like a little animated thing when it's all done.
Oh my God. It can't be.
Oh, no, these eyes in first, don't we?
There was no doubt
There we
about
go.
it. It was a picture of my father. Papa, oh God. After what I'd gone through, I thought I could face anything, but not this. My father, the one person in the whole world who I truly admired, standing with Crachon while those murderers carried on with their evil work. My father, grinning at the camera. I couldn't believe it. I realized that I desperately needed to get to the bottom of this story, and that I really needed George.
Later that afternoon. And then we're back to where the original PlayStation game would have picked up at.
I pushed against the door, but it seemed to be locked. Oh, hi.
Bonjour, monsieur. Would you like me to foretell your future?
No thanks.
I'm very good. It only takes a minute.
Thanks all the same, but I'm not superstitious. Besides, if it only takes a minute, that's not much of a future to look forward to. Do you know a young woman called Nico Collard?
Yes, I do. She lives upstairs from me in the apartment block across the street.
I tried the door, but it's locked.
You know, I've told the landlord about that 1,000,000 times. It is a damp. The whole building is like a sponge. It sucks up the moisture from God knows where.
You mean the door is stuck because it's swollen?
That is correct. There is an art to opening it. Don't shove too hard. Just give it a gentle nudge above the lock.
Thanks for the advice. Are the flowers for sale?
Oui, monsieur.
Okay. I'll take a bunch of those white ones.
I wouldn't do that if I was you.
No?
They are lilies, monsieur. Some people associate them with death.
Yikes. Well, thanks for telling me. What other flowers do you have?
Dahlias?
What do they signify?
Insecurity?
I don't want to give her the wrong idea about me. What about the tall yellow ones?
Those are iris, the flame of passion.
And the little yellow ones?
Sensuality.
Well, they're no use to me. I want to make an impression, not jump down her throat. I've changed my mind. Will you tell my fortune?
You're going on a long journey.
My, oh my. What a surprise. Can you tell me anything I don't already know? How long has Mademoiselle Collard lived here?
A few months. She's in for a shock when the cold weather comes. Drafty windows, insufficient heating. It's a struggle to keep warm. The only reason I stay is
like
because
this
the
house.
rent is cheap. Your young lady, she deserves better.
See you later.
That's...
Oops. See if we can jiggle the door.
Remembering the flower seller's advice, I pushed the door gently just above the lock. Hi.
Bonjour. I'm glad you could make it, monsieur.
Please, call me George.
Fine. I'm Nicole. Take a seat, George.
You be playing?
A beer?
Rocket League.
And what have you been up to?
I've been exploring the sewers underneath the cafe.
I thought I could smell something bad.
The clown used the sewer to escape and to change out of his costume. I guess he was in a hurry. He left his jacket behind.
And?
I got his tailor's phone number.
You had better luck than I did.
Luck, she said. Luck. Hard work, I'd call it. What happened?
My editor told me to drop this story. Can you believe it?
But you're not going to do that.
Oh no. I'm going to find out what's behind these
You want chicken
It
trouble
just
tea.
doesn't add up. Almost feels like some sort of conspiracy.
What's everyone's
The
head
police
count up to,
in
actually?
three
We
different
didn't do
countries
that
are very
yet.
quiet about the murders. The press don't connect them at all. They blame them on political, religious, or militant minority extremists.
Well, that covers just about everyone. Tell me more about yourself.
There's nothing much to tell.
Well, how'd you get into photography?
I guess I owe that to my father. He bought me my first camera. I was 8, and my parents had just split up.
Tell me more about the clown's previous victims.
The first was Arno Bellotta, the millionaire pharmaceutical baron. He made his money from amphetamines in the post-war slimming and diet boom. Imagine it, millions of housewives literally speeding their butts off. The only witness in the case was his Filipino au pair. She swears he was lured to his death by a snowman.
What about the clown's second victim?
Yamada, the controversial Japanese politician. He inherited his fortune from his father's electrochemical consortium.
How did he die?
At the hands, or should I say flippers, of a giant emperor penguin.
A snowman, a penguin, and now a clown.
I had been about to add mime to the list, but stopped myself. I really didn't want to have to explain to George about my father's involvement with Cachon.
You know, I hate to admit it, but this is scary. And I'll tell you this, I will not be accepting any invitations to costume parties.
I don't blame you for being scared. I am too. But this story could be my only chance for a big break.
Or an early death.
Just read the next one. Just shy. Well, you might get up to 20 by the end of the day, Chris. If there's anyone that ought to raid, and 5.8 as well for royalty. You see, you could redeem a chicken or a business presentation.
Did you live with your father?
Yes. My mother went off with her new boyfriend. I didn't mind. Papa was all I needed. 4 years later, he died in a plane crash.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. I don't mind talking about him. He was more like an older brother, really. Always joking and laughing. Papa always wanted me to study art. That's why I went to college.
Did you learn about photography at college?
God, no. I couldn't afford the materials. We were billed for everything we used. Paint, canvas, paper. Most of my year turned to minimalism. It was cheaper. I used to go poaching in the park for squirrel hair. The only time I wasn't hungry was the term I did printing. I used to eat the potatoes.
You're making fun of me, aren't you?
Oh, no.
I found this false nose in the sewer.
Hey, what's this inside it?
The contents of someone's nose?
Don't be cross, George.
It says La Risée du Monde. Masks and costumes. It's a costume shop near the Gare Saint-Lazare.
I'll check it out. Maybe the owner remembers who hired the clown costume.
Right, 1 second royalty. Can I escape? Oh, I can't, hang on. Right, hang on. How am I going to get rid of this? I can't get to the menu to minimise it. Right, give us 2 seconds.
The summer's calling. The summer's calling. If the kingdom is overthrown, meet me at the cornerstone. I know that I can't be without you.
Oop. Yeah, I forgot to turn that back on, didn't I? As I was saying there, this is barbecue. This was I'd say maybe it was about 3 or so months before we lost her. But this is playing on the garden. It's a 3.5 minute video. Previously unseen videos that I took off my iPhone. She's a beautiful little girl though, with those beautiful red feathers. She was so soft. The only thing that she wanted was to sit on my knee and be cuddled. She was quite happy day after day, snuggled into us asleep. Sticking her butt in the camera. I think that was casserole, tail feathers were so there. Which is trying to have a little dust bath, but there's no dust, so you can see she's sort of just trying, but she's not being able to kick up anything. Just you know, well, she was mostly blind as well, like, but she was having a go. Yeah, she's just trying to have a dust bath there and kick the soil up, but there wasn't any soil to kick up. Those fluffy tail feathers. Watch your spot. Oh, that's success. It's only 2.5 minutes long, so let's look back around. Yeah, she was a beautiful little girl. A little bit of grass stuck in her beak there as well. She's gonna do another shuffle, and then we'll go back to the thing. Nah. I do have like some more video clips as well. I chose like a video clip today because I haven't had the chance to put together another folder of images. I need to like download my entire photo library off my phone of the chickens and organise it and group it together. We'll quickly nip back to the game there. Thank you for joining me today. If you are enjoying our journey and would like to see more, then please rate, comment, favourite and subscribe in whichever manner your chosen platform allows. If you are joining us on Twitch, Mixer or YouTube, where we have loads more for you to watch, from our live streams to all our episodes across our various series. You can also drop by and say hi over on Discord, where we chat about everything from Minecraft to books and movies to tabletop games. But most importantly, thank you very much for watching and have a lovely day. What's that then? Oh, you want the lag button? Yeah, I can give you the lag button. Except it shouldn't lag at all now. I re-rendered it because remember originally it was 14 gigabytes because I never checked the file size. Then I got it down to 1.5 gigabytes, and now I've got it down to just 500 megabytes just for that 10-second clip. And then do you want to press the other buttons as well? Actually, yeah. If as long as all three of these are there, we'll cycle through all the buttons. So I've got this button here, which puts a picture of barbecue in the middle of the screen behind there. We've got this button here. For some reason, it's not actually. It's supposed to put chat into the. It's coming up on YouTube. The chat's going in, but the chat's not coming into. With like the links, it's not coming on to Twitch. Well, I'll investigate that later. But don't forget as well, we've also got this button as well. Your favourite button. You liked the music on it as well there, didn't you, Royalty?
I found this tissue down the sewer.
That's disgusting, George.
No. I think the stuff on it is grease paint, like actors use, or clowns.
It's still disgusting. Get rid of it.
So you get that phone there is obviously a one that's got the the old style like the ring dialing thing. 'Cause that's obviously the shape. 'Cause that's like sort of that my gran had. So what year is this game supposed to be based in?
I found a piece of material near the cafe. When I showed it to the concierge, he recognized it right away.
It's very distinctive, all right. Just wait until you see this. I developed the film I shot at the cafe. Here, George, it's an enlargement I made. Look what that guy's wearing.
Checkered pants. The same material as I found in the sewer.
That's right. This guy shouldn't be difficult to find.
Oh, no?
Take a close look at his eye cheek.
A scar in the shape of a horseshoe.
Or a crescent moon.
No problem. Are you you're back to work now, Royalty?
How come you enlarged this photograph of me?
Because I noticed the guy behind you, of course.
This is the tool I used to get into the sewers.
Fascinating, George.
You're not interested, are you?
Oh, of course I am. I think it was very brave of you to go down those sewers.
Yeah? Well, it was kind of scary, but, well, I had a job to do. I have to go.
Okay, I'll see you later.
I've no idea what the screen is for, but the little thing was flashing. I think we're gonna have to. I was hoping we were gonna get to use the phone in her apartment, but the only other place where I know there's a phone is the cafe. Because we had the phone number for the tailors, didn't we?
Hello? Who is this? Hi. My name's George Stobbart. You don't know me.
Correct, Mr. Stobbart. I don't. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm trying to trace one of your customers. Could I maybe come over and talk to you?
No, that's not possible.
Oh, okay. Forget it. Listen, all I want is a name.
What are you talking about? Who are you working for?
I guess you might say I'm acting in the interests of truth and justice.
Ah, thank God. I thought you were the police.
There are innocent lives at stake, Mr. Todrick. Lives that you could save.
You're collecting for charity, yes?
No, I'm not. All I want from you is information.
Go on. I'm listening.
Do you know a guy called Plantar?
No, I never heard of him.
Shall I tell you what happened to Plantar? How he was killed in cold blood?
I told you, I never heard of Plantar.
Did you make a suit for a man with a scar on his face? A scar in the shape of a crescent moon?
Maybe. Maybe not.
Tell me where I can find him and I'll leave you alone.
And if I don't?
I won't leave you alone.
I can't tell you anything unless you give me his name.
What do you know about the clown who bombed the Café de la Chandelle Verte?
I don't have no idea what you're talking about.
You're cool, Todrick. But I think you know more than you're saying.
I don't know who you be, but sure I am you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, this is ridiculous. Quit playing games with me, Todrick.
I tell you, I know nothing about no clown.
I expect Plantar's a family man, don't you? In their little apartment, Madame Plantar is cooking the supper, listening for the familiar sound of her husband's key in the door. Junior is waiting for his daddy to come home from work. He can't wait to show him the merit marks he earned in school today. Only tonight, Monsieur Plantar won't be coming home.
You forgot the puppy.
Huh?
The faithful puppy dog, waiting for the sound of his master's voice.
Well, maybe they don't have a dog. What do you think?
I don't know, Plantar. I never heard of Plantar. None of this has anything to do with me.
that's all the dialogue
Thanks
options.
for nothing, Todrick.
But yes, so it was released in '96, but it does not have like any clue as to when it was. What we got here? What year it might be like?
Excuse me. Not so fast. I'd like
Yeah,
your
I've
personal
only played the
details,
first
please.
3. I've never played the newer ones.
In the event of an accident, it would help us to know where to send the body.
Look, is this really necessary? I came in here to talk to Rosso.
Why did you not say? He's not here.
But
Do you wish to leave a message for him? I have a choice of blue or black pen. I'd recommend the blue for a less formal communication.
I'd prefer to talk to him in person.
As you wish, monsieur.
Thanks for your help, officer.
So what are these other markers we've got? That's the cafe. And what's this one?
Hi.
Oh, hello.
We've exhausted all of her dialogue options.
I have to go.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Ah, right, this is a place we haven't been to yet.
Excuse me.
Bonjour, monsieur. Please, come in. Welcome. Leave the mundane world behind, for in these 4 walls, fantasy is king.
I don't want a costume.
Didn't you ever dress up when you were a child?
Not that I remember.
Incredible! You'll be telling me next that you never shared your elder sister's lingerie.
I don't have a sister, and I think I'd look pretty silly in a brassiere. I just need some information.
Of course. How can I help you?
I'm looking for a man who hired a clown costume from you.
Oui, monsieur. I do not see how I can help.
Don't you keep a record of costumes that you've rented out?
Of course, monsieur, but...
Well, then, I'd like to check your records. Give me the names of everyone who's rented a clown suit.
Impossible. There are too many.
Have you heard of a man named Plantile?
I do not recall anyone of that name.
Do you recognize this man?
Oui, monsieur. I sold him some grease paint.
Does this dirty tissue mean anything to you?
Let me smell that. Bestheimer's number 7 white pancake.
Theatrical grease paint, right?
Oui, monsieur. La crème de la crème of Thespian accoutrement.
Have you sold any of it recently?
Yes, 2 cans.
Do you want this red nose back?
Not after it's been worn, thank you.
Do you recognize this man?
Ah oui, he was here this morning. That is the man to whom I sold the grease paint. I remember the scar on his face. He chose 2 costumes. Bozo the clown and Seamus the pixie.
A pixie?
Very smart. Green silk with a taffeta lining. He gave me his name as Monsieur Khan.
What does this tool mean to you?
Nothing, monsieur.
Thanks for your help, buddy.
There we go, we got his
pleasure,
name.
monsieur. Allow me to shake you by the hand.
Huh? Well, okay. What are you trying to do, kill me?
You did not find it amusing?
I never saw the funny side of electroshock therapy.
Eh bien, it is yours to keep. A gift?
Do I need a license?
No, but I give you a word of warning, monsieur.
What?
Remember to switch it off before you visit the toilet.
Definitely switch off an electric buzzer before you go to the toilet. Yeah, well, the next stages of the game is because we're in Paris right now, and see if you can guess maybe what country we're going to go to next, where he's going to use the pixie costume. See, now I've got a name though.
Hello? Who is this? Mr. Todrick? Oh, it's you again. What now?
The man I'm looking for is called Khan. He bought a suit from you, remember?
Mr. Khan. Yes, I remember him. Yes, I delivered the suit to his hotel. The Hotel Ubu. I don't remember the room number. It was upstairs. The second room on the right-hand side of the corridor.
Thanks, Todrick. That's all I wanted to know. Now I've got you, Mr. Clown.
There we go. Oop. Mouse just went all over the place. And to the hotel. For a brief moment, his sort of like moustache, his head sort of reminds me of. Do you guys watch the Tintin cartoons? For a brief second, with the glasses and the moustache, it looked like the Professor.
Excuse me, didn't I see your picture in the news?
But not when
You're
it's
that
like a zoomed-in
Nobel
picture
Prize
like that,
winner
though.
From some unpronounceable Eastern European state.
Yes, that is me, in person.
I don't want to worry you, but have you had any threats on your life? You know, mysterious phone calls, letters made up of headlines cut from the newspaper.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That was one thing as well. If you watch the Tintin cartoons, the names of the characters, you probably wouldn't get away with that now. Every single character in there. Have a look on the various wikis for all the different character names.
Do you know a guy called Plantow?
I don't know anybody in Paris.
Oh, well, this guy's dead anyhow.
Why do you ask me about dead men? I have seen enough of death to last me a lifetime.
I'm, sure you have. Have you seen a clown?
I beg your pardon?
The clown. A guy in funny pants. Have you seen him?
My pants are from England, Marks and Spencer. They are a pleasure and a comfort to wear, with much support.
I'm real glad to hear that. You know, it's good to know you Nobel Prize winners are human too.
In my country, the people make do with string and egg cartoons.
For pants?
For everything. Oppression is the mother of ingenuity.
Do you recognize this man? He calls himself Khan.
Yes, I know this man. Why do you carry his photograph?
I'm a private detective. What's your interest in Khan?
He is an enemy of my people.
You know he's a killer?
Of course, amongst other things.
May I shake you by the hand?
I do not shake the hands of imperialist dogs.
Now that's a real bad attitude problem you've got there. What does this clown's nose suggest to you?
In my country, we have no use for clowns.
I'm glad to hear it.
They were dealt with most severely in the last cultural cleansing.
What about the mimes? Did you get them too?
All gone. Our streets are mime-free.
Sounds like heaven.
We need to have one of those.
Thanks for your help.
Goodbye.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
What?
You were trying to steal that key, no?
No way. I want some information.
Who are you, the police?
I'm conducting a private investigation.
Ah, I know only too well what you mean. That is one of the drawbacks of the catering business. When people book into an hotel, they leave their morals at home, no?
About the key hanging on the hook over there.
Oui, monsieur.
Which room is it for?
Number 21.
Is that room taken?
No. The guests checked out this morning.
Do you know a man named Plantar?
No, monsieur.
Do you have a guest by the name of Khan?
No, monsieur. Perhaps you would care to check the register.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Yes, monsieur. That man is one of our guests.
What name?
I cannot tell you that.
The man who calls himself Khan has a scar on his right cheek.
Vraiment? I tell you, I do not know a man named Khan.
Maybe not, but I'd noticed a change in his expression when I mentioned the scar. I'm looking for a man who dresses like a clown.
This is a highly respectable hotel, monsieur. There are no clowns here.
If you say so. Do you recognize this red nose?
No, monsieur.
Let's go and talk to the woman at the piano next.
Hi there, ma'am.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a man.
You disappoint me, my dear. For one foolish moment I thought... But never mind. Aren't you going to tell me your name?
George Stobbart, ma'am.
How
State of her eyes.
I once had a stable boy called George. I am Lady Piermont. The common reaction is to kneel and stutter, but it's not obligatory.
A real lady? I mean, you're an honest-to-God aristocrat?
Oh, I don't know about that. Few of my ancestors are honest, not even to God. I can trace my family back to the Normans, but don't let that intimidate you, George. Beneath that impressive pedigree, I'm just flesh and blood. The blood may be blue, but the flesh is the plump beef of old England, so to speak. You appear distracted, George. Is there any way I can help you?
Did you know there's a gangster out front?
What makes you think he's a gangster?
The Italian suit and the bulge in his pocket?
I know plenty of men with Italian suits and bulges in their pockets. That doesn't necessarily make them gangsters.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
My God, it's him! That's Merlin!
She represented everything I loved about the English. The lady was totally deranged. Merlin? You mean King Arthur's wizard?
Good heavens, no! Monsieur Merlin is a fellow guest.
The man you know as Merlin is a fake.
What do you mean, sweetie?
He's a murderer. He also uses the name Khan.
I am shocked, Mr. Stobbart. Shaken. I took him to be a gentleman, a man of honour. Do you know, I'd rather like to assist you in stitching him up.
Are you here in Paris on vacation?
No, darling, I'm on holiday. I needed to get away after Algy's funeral.
I didn't realize you were mourning the loss of a loved one.
I'm not. He was my husband.
When did you last see Merlin?
It was no more than an hour ago. He came downstairs and spoke to that clerk chappie. Something passed hands. I couldn't see what exactly.
A briefcase?
No, smaller than that. A bundle of papers, perhaps. The clerk put it in the hotel safe and Merlin went out.
Are you sure you saw Merlin putting documents in the safe?
Yes, darling, positive.
I wonder what they were.
Obviously something of great importance.
Yeah. I'd sure like to get my hands on whatever it is. I'll bet they had something to do with Plantar's briefcase. I'm sorry to hear about your husband's death.
You wouldn't be if you knew him, my dear. It gave me the opportunity to take a well-deserved holiday. Daphne suggested a change of scenery. Paris, she said. A wild romance is just what you need to take your mind off the inquest. Well, the closest I came to romance was being wooed by a drunken Breton chef. I must say I was disappointed with his coq au vin. Not at all what I was expecting. I was thinking of cutting my holiday short, packing my bags and heading back to Hemel Hempstead. That was until last night.
let's see. We're trying to trigger the dialogue option for her to come and help us get the keys.
Hey, ne touche pas!
Just looking. There was no one registered under the name of Khan, but the name in the book for room 22 was Merlin.
What now, monsieur?
I'd like to retrieve something from your safe.
Ah, oui, monsieur. May I see some form of identification?
Like what?
A driving license, perhaps?
I don't drive.
Your passport?
I don't have it with me. I could show you my operation scar.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I must have some form of unique ID.
You won't find a more unique ID than my scar.
I'm sorry. I must insist on a more traditional identification.
Rats. I'd like to check into room 21.
That is not possible.
How come? You said it was vacant.
It is reserved for another guest.
Rats.
No, monsieur. Dutch.
Right, that should now have triggered her dialogue option.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
Would you distract the clerk while I borrow a key?
Are you asking me to aid you in a criminal act, darling?
Oh, no. It's the key to an empty room.
And why, may I ask, do you wish to gain access to an empty room? Do you plan to squat?
No, ma'am.
Scouts honor?
I was never in the Boy Scouts, ma'am.
Oh, you should have been. What were your parents thinking of? It's a fine way for a boy to get licked into shape. Now tell me, why do you want to get into that room?
It's next to the room the killer is using.
Ah, so you plan to eavesdrop on Merlin?
I was hoping there might be a connecting door.
Well, how can I refuse? I shouldn't think my feminine charms would be much use in this case, but a good dose of English arrogance might do the trick.
Yeah. The clip of it.
I say! You there? Flunky!
Oui, madame.
Listen carefully. You do understand English, don't you?
But of course, madame.
Good. I wish to deposit some jewellery for safekeeping.
I understand.
Are you quite certain?
Oh, bien sûr, madame.
Over to you, my dear.
There we go, let's get the key. And upstairs.
The door was locked.
Key.
Maybe it wasn't the right room, but this was the right key.
Oh, that's handy, we don't have to check the other doors.
The cabinet was empty, but it smelt of onions. No kidding, it really did.
So it was just like the did you guys used to watch the old series Hello Hello? They were always disguising, everyone was always disguised as an onion seller, weren't they? There we go, we're in his room now.
The bed was freshly made, and the crisp white sheets told me nothing about the killer's habits.
Nice case there.
It was the battered leather briefcase I'd seen Plantar carrying just before he died. I searched the interior of the briefcase, but as I'd half expected, it was empty. It was Khan. I had the kind of feeling in my stomach that would usually send me running to the bathroom.
Must be a xenomorph coming. He's hiding in the cupboard.
As Khan opened the wardrobe, I was sure I was dead. But he grabbed his pants quickly and didn't even see me. I didn't usually spy on men getting changed. But this guy was a killer, and I didn't want any surprises. He left his checkered pants on the bed.
Some rubbish through his pockets now.
I had that kind of feeling you only get from searching still warm pants. There was nothing in the pocket. A strip along the side seam of the pants had been unpicked, then sewn back up with strong thread and a special stitch. I flipped the pants over. I found nothing in the pocket. I found an ordinary matchbook. No matches, no clues. But as I pulled it from the pocket, a strong thread came with it. A thread with a metal tag on the end. The pocket was empty. I turned the pants over again. A strip along the side seam of the pants had been unpicked, then sewn back up with strong thread and a special stitch. The pocket was empty.
We need a tool maybe to...
There was nothing in the pocket. A strip along the side, then sewn back up. I turned the pants over again. I found nothing in the pocket was empty. I turned the pants over again.
What's that then? So can I click on the mode?
I turned the pants over again.
What did you get out here again?
The matchbook bore a pattern of swirling color and the words Club Alamut.
Oh, hang on. My microphone's covering that bit on the screen, isn't it?
I pulled on the metal tag and the thread came out of the pants. It was like pulling out a ripcord.
I have to look underneath to see what.
I turned the pants over
There
again.
we go.
I searched the pocket gingerly and found a pass card. It read, Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics Corporation.
Gruber Electronics, is that a Die Hard reference? It was Khan, is that maybe the Rafa Khan? Right, let's see if we can use this ID to get stuff out of the safe.
What now, monsieur?
Does this pass mean anything to you?
That is Monsieur Merlin's property.
That's right. Merlin the murderer. I want to see what he's left in your safe.
Impossible. I cannot betray his confidence, no matter what you say he's done.
You're making a big mistake.
Maybe. I can live with that. A murderer? Are you sure?
Positive. Did I show you this pass?
Oui, monsieur.
Right, let's go get the crazy lady to assist again.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
I found this pass in Merlin's room.
So, that deceitful little man is passing himself off as an electrician, is he?
Uh-huh. This guy probably has a million faces. Has Merlin returned to the hotel?
No, he hasn't. Are you going to search his room?
If I could get in there, I would.
And that's why you want the key?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep, crazy lady, yep.
What happened to you last night?
I was stricken, Mr. Stobbart. Cupid's arrow has cleft my bosom.
They couldn't really miss.
It was just as I'd always imagined it should be. The intimacy of candlelight, romantic music tinkling across the room, and then a stranger's glance. Those brooding eyes, that suave manner, those tight trousers. He was the man I'd been waiting for all my life.
I'm glad he finally turned up after all these years.
Ah, but it wasn't to be. He was merely toying with my affections. And if I ever catch up with him, he's dead.
So far, we haven't triggered the option for her to come over and shout and yell at the desk so we can get the stuff out of the
What now,
the
monsieur?
safe.
Hey, shake my hand.
I'd rather not, monsieur. I'm still sore from the shock administered by one of the guests. He was secretly concealing an electrical device in the palm of his hand. Practical jokes are so puerile, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, sure. Did I show you this pass?
Oui, monsieur.
Do you recognize this key?
That is the property of the Hotel Ubu.
Correct.
May I ask how it found its way from the little hook to your pocket?
Would you believe it was put there by a poltergeist?
No, monsieur. The hotel is regularly serviced by an exorcist. If we had a ghost, Father Fécond would have flushed it out.
I suppose you want the key back.
Not especialement. The room is vacant. Since you are so determined to conduct your little investigation, I won't stop you.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
No, monsieur.
What do you make of this tissue?
Do you wish me to dispose of it for you, monsieur?
Hey, no! It could be useful. I'm holding on to this.
As you wish, monsieur. Perhaps you would like a little plastic baggie to keep it in?
Nah, it's fine the way it is.
Let's head back over and see if we can trigger it now.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
Who was the guy who led you on?
His name is Merlin.
This is the key to room 21.
That's next to the room taken by that rotten Merlin, isn't it?
Yes, and it's vacant.
Really? How convenient.
Maybe it was my imagination, but I had an uncomfortable feeling about this situation. Yeah. I showed the pass to the clerk, hoping he'd give me Merlin's papers, but he wouldn't buy it. He's too scared.
Here we go.
I'll give him something to be scared of. Follow me, George! Did you place a package from Merlin in the hotel safe?
I did, madame.
That
did
gold
my
thing round
friend
her,
here show you Merlin's identification?
like round her waist.
He did.
It makes me something
But
that you would use to
what's
like
the
to
problem?
tie curtains back.
Isn't Merlin.
A mere academic detail. Give him the package.
But that is against the law.
I happen to be a justice of the peace, you silly man. I am the law. If he tries anything, shoot him, George.
My pleasure, Lady Piermont.
One moment, please.
You know, I haven't enjoyed myself this much since Greenham Common.
I don't know what I would have done without you, Lady Piermont.
Voilà, monsieur. Le manuscrit de Monsieur Merlin.
Thanks.
How satisfying. An Anglo-American alliance that actually worked.
The clerk had given me a tightly rolled sheet of parchment. I decided not to unroll it until I was safely back in Nico's apartment.
Right, let's go up here, because if I recall, those goons at the front door want that parchment. And you have to... Oh, for a second I thought we hadn't picked it up.
This was no way to treat an ancient manuscript, but I couldn't let it fall into the hands of the goons waiting outside.
Back downstairs.
Just a minute, monsieur.
What's your problem?
No problem, if you cooperate.
What do you want?
Just a routine security check. Nothing to worry yourself about.
Oh, well, all right.
Search him, Flap.
You bet.
Hey, knock it off. Get off, you big ape.
Nothing, Guido. Zilch.
Our apologies, monsieur.
What? I had to report you to the authorities.
Round here, we are the authorities.
You want I should break his arms?
No. Let him go, Flap.
And here we go.
If the manuscript was what Flap and Guido were after, they were going to be disappointed. I couldn't wait to get back to Nico's apartment and check it out. Hi, how are you?
Oh, hi. Come in, George.
Nope, they missed all the other bits and bobs and junk and tools that he has in his pockets.
Do you have a boyfriend?
Not anymore. There was someone, a guy in my final year, but it didn't work out. Neither did my degree.
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
You're just not going to believe what I've found.
It's not another part of the clown's costume, is it?
It's a medieval manuscript. Khan left it in the safe at the Ubu.
It's incredible. Is this what he took from Plantark?
It could be, which means it's worth enough to kill for.
Look there, two guys on the same horse.
Oh, yeah. Maybe they couldn't afford one each. What of it?
Have you ever heard of the Knights Templar? Their official seal was an image of two knights sharing a horse. Whatever this manuscript means, it's connected with the Templars.
How come you know about these knights?
I learned about them while writing an article on the Crusades. This guy, named Hughes de Payen, arrived one day at the court of King of Jerusalem. He offered to protect the Christian pilgrims from the displaced Muslim armies. The king would be able to guarantee safe transit to Christians in the Holy Land. Safer journeys meant more pilgrims, and pilgrims meant trade and wealth. The Templars proved invaluable to the king as a mercenary army. It was said that they never asked how many the enemy numbered, just where they were. And as the years went by, the Templars grew in wealth and numbers. They were so rich, even kings came to them for loans. But at the height of their power, they fell foul of the King of France. He rounded them up and turned them over to the Inquisition. Thousands of Templars were subject to torture and confessed to heresy. Of course, at the hands of the Inquisition, there wasn't much they wouldn't confess to. The last Grand Master Jacques de Molay was burned alive.
Jeez. So the treasure is hidden, waiting to be discovered?
If there ever was a treasure, it's been lost for 600 years. Anyway, we're supposed to be investigating a serial killer, not a medieval treasure trove.
But maybe that's what the clown and his accomplices are after. Maybe this manuscript is the key.
You'd better leave it here for safekeeping.
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
I say that music was that loud in the in that bit you could hardly hear us speaking.
There's a guy working on a loom. He's weaving a carpet or a tapestry.
Or a duvet cover. It's a clue to a place, I reckon. Somewhere famed for weaving and ships.
Where folk live in barrels?
It beats copper boxes.
There's a guy with a sword and a bull.
The only mythological bull I know of is the Minotaur, but he was only half bull.
I don't think I'd like to be half a bull, even if it was the bottom half.
What's that object between them?
It looks like a gem on top of a tripod.
Look there, two guys on the same horse.
A knight with a crystal ball. There's something written on the scroll beside the knight.
Yes, but it's written in Latin. Per disciplinam mea lux videbis.
By my teachings, you will see the light.
You speak Latin? Where did you learn a trick like that?
A trick? I studied law, okay? I can read Latin.
My, you're touchy. Tell me that again.
There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces.
She reminds me of the wicked queen in Snow White.
She was the one who said, "Mirror, mirror on the wall," wasn't she? She made me cry so much when I was a kid. Mom carried me out of the movie theater.
She didn't frighten me in the least.
Like I said, I was only a kid. I didn't like the crocodile in Peter Pan either.
Let's face it, we need help, George. Someone who knows about these things.
Typical Americans making a drama out of things.
I know a guy who specializes in medieval studies. His name is Lobineau.
Huh. Some stuffy old fossil who gets horny over ancient relics, I suppose.
Far from it. Andre isn't the stereotypical professor you have in mind.
Where can I find this Lobineau guy?
At the Kroon Museum. I'll give you the address.
I have to go.
Okay. Don't forget to look for Lobineau at the Kroon Museum.
So if I remember rightly, go to the museum and then it sort of ends this chapter, which is where we'll leave it for next week, because you go here and then it unlocks Ireland, if I'm right.
In the case was a spindly tripod, blackened with age and pitted with rust. It was identical to the tripod pictured on the manuscript. A notice identified it as 15th century from Western Ireland. It had been found in Loch Marne at the site of a Knights Templar preceptory. Ireland!
What's that?
This tripod was found in Ireland.
I will have to ask you to keep your voice down.
I'm sorry, I was excited.
And we'll find her apartment.
Hi, I've been to the Kroon Museum.
Did you speak to Lobineau?
No, he wasn't there. I found the tripod.
Where?
In the museum. It belonged to the Templars. It was dug up in Ireland at a place called Loch Marne.
I have heard of Loch Marne. I read an article about the castle. Take a look for yourself.
A popular gossip magazine? You read that rubbish?
No, I write it.
Professor Nigel Pegram, excavating the medieval castle at Loch Marne. That's strange.
What?
He resigned his chair at Durham University in order to devote his time to the excavation. Not only that, but he cancelled the filming of a 4th series of his popular television program. This site at Loch Marne must be awful important to him.
He's a professor of history. They're all cuckoo.
All the same, I'd like to talk to this Professor Pegram. How do you feel about a trip to Ireland?
Disappointed.
Huh?
That I won't be going. I want to follow up the Belota case. If you really think Pegram's gem is important, why don't you visit Loch Marne?
On my own? I'm not so sure about that. Where is Ireland exactly?
That's about right coming from an American, isn't it?
I have to go.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Right, so the next stages will be the island section of the game, but we'll save that for next week. Speaking of which, we haven't actually saved today, have we? Game saved. There we go. So that's ready then for next Monday, where we'll continue the story. So I hope you enjoyed that one today. I'll have a quick look in a minute and we'll see if there's anyone up to raid so that you can get your extra points. But tomorrow night we'll be doing a bit of Minecraft. I don't have anything particularly planned for tomorrow, but we do need a smelter. And we'll hook that up to a new bit of a bamboo machine as well, because the amount of glass that we're continuously having to smelt with 3 smelters is getting a bit ridiculous. But we'll look at that. We'll look at that tomorrow. We'll decide what we're going to build. Oh, you wait a bit. Have you been getting wrong, Chrissy, for staying up late? Are you getting picked on and bullied? But anyway, we'll minimise that. You haven't yet, but they're working on it, I think. Go over to Twitch and we'll see if anyone is on so that you can get your extra points. Where is it? Raid channel. Which would you like to go to? The Sweet Anita for 2 minutes or Angry Joe for 2 minutes? Just minimise that one there. Want this one? Yep. No worries there. Alright, so hope you enjoyed that one there. Don't forget to rate, comment, favourite and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you for joining me today. If you are enjoying our journey and would like to see more, then please rate, comment, favourite and subscribe in whichever manner your chosen platform allows. If you are joining us on Twitch, Mixer or YouTube, where we have loads more for you to watch, from our live streams to all our episodes across our various series. You can also drop by and say hi over on Discord, where we chat about everything from Minecraft to books and movies to tabletop games. But most importantly, thank you very much for watching and have a lovely day.